crystals form. So if you look down on the ground, you'll see some shiny stuff, like right there, there's a little bit of shiny.
Okay.
And that's one of those sunstone crystals, also known as Labradorite, I think.
Uh-huh.
And just kind of a pretty place. So.
That's so cool. There's a little... Oh, wait, there's one, maybe. I've also found a lot of glass, so hopefully I can find something that's actually a crystal. That was a piece of glass. So this location is right off of, what is that road right there? We're in between Milford and Delta, Utah. Okay, we just came down the hill a little bit and looking at the different pieces of rock. There's a lot of broken stuff here and it crumbles quite a bit apparently. But it's just within these black volcanic rocks, huh?
Right there,
I'm finding it. And then there's a little chunk at the top. And then as I was going through the stuff out here, just every once in a while you'll see it kind of glinting out of the rock.
I think it's quite widespread within the rock.
Yeah. There was one piece I just saw a minute ago. I'll have to look a little bit more. But sure, there used to be a lot more, but there's a lot around. Just to look around this edge, maybe. See what else we can find. But okay.
So
we've been walking up to this. Oh, I guess this would be the most south ridge here.
Yeah. Definitely the most west.
Yeah.
And this area has been well picked over.
I've only found little pieces here and there.
But I mean, you can see it shining a little bit. There's a little piece right there, and it's kind of glass-like.
Yep.
Or that's glass, one of the two. That
There's a lot of glass up here.
That looks a lot like one of the crystals. That actually looks a lot like it.
Huh.
You can see some of the crystals in there, embedded in there. It's very yellow.
Yeah.
That's a pretty piece.
That's interesting.
That's interesting.
I found just some small pieces on the way up, but nothing too exciting so far.
Rock is flying around. That was interesting. For some reason, my phone just started talking. Not sure why.
Does it start out more honey colored? We'll definitely have to look around a little bit more. And like, this is the biggest piece that I've been able to find so far, so there's not a lot.
No, I found some nice pieces inside of rock. At one point when I looked at this originally.
Is that what they're doing? Is just digging out?
Yeah, I think so.
Stuff?
So this is, I don't know, it looks like there's an explosive eruption and all sorts of schmutz just got thrown. Schmutz, yeah. I think that's a technical word.
Oh yeah, very scientific.
And it's interesting because some of this rock has a lot of air bubbles in it, which suggests rapid cooling, if I remember my geology class correctly. Yeah. And so I wouldn't be surprised if this has some sort of explosive eruption associated with it. But then you see other parts of this and it looks like it's more of a solid rock without the air bubbles in it. And you find the sunstone crystals in all of those. So I kind of wonder if we have different eruptive events and then some sort of gas or liquid that came up through the area and deposited the sunstone crystal inside the materials that were already here. So that's what my best guess is, but now we should probably go read on it and we'll find out how wrong it is. A lot of distortion on the lens there. I don't know why. Yeah, that almost looks like a fossil in there, doesn't it? You can see some of the deposition up in here. There's some of the Some of the stuff that looks like where the crystals might be, people have picked through this.
Yeah.
There's just a little bit of crystalline formation right in there.
It's definitely a place people are...
Here's one. I don't know if you can see the shine on this one.
There's not much left in this exposed rock, is there?
There's a whole bunch of shine right there of a little piece that's in there, a little chip. I think there's some other rocks I've seen that have large pieces in it, but I don't know that there's a way to crack those out and get to it.
Yeah.
And you can see the heterogeneity of this kind of material here. Look at if you look at this,
Oh yeah.
you can see this stuff doesn't have any air bubbles in it. This is welded together, and it has some stuff that has more of the air bubbles in it, like right there. And then there are pieces that have even larger bubbles. So there's all sorts of kinds of material in here. And because there's different kinds of material and the sunstones in all of it, like I said, my best guess is it came later. But that's why we love reading about this, is kind of figuring out what it is we don't know and how is it that people piece together these really great mysteries. I love that part of what the rock hounding is for us. And also, there's a lot of people that have been hammering away. There's sort of some areas that look a little bit like caves almost. Like really small caves, obviously.
I wonder if it's this softer, like what, limestone kind of stuff that you see every
That kind of eroded out faster. I think you're right. I bet you're right. It's so funny to see those in here. And it's so interesting to see like those hard ledges in the middle of the stuff that's just more fracturable. And how those got thrown there.
Oh yeah, it's so interesting.
I
don't think we've been to this side of the knoll before.
No, every time we've come out this side, I think there have been people here and we just gave them space. Today nobody's here, it's too cold, no sane rock hounder is out looking for crystals in this today. It's 35, 40 degrees.
It's not bad though, really.
It's a little hazy this morning. We're looking over, let's see, if we look south, normally we'd be able to see not just Stephanie, but the Mineral Mountains down there. Mm-hmm. If we look kind of this way, I think that's the mountain range between Delta and Scipio. What's the name of that? We've between Delta and Scipio.
Oh.
The ones that we always talk about. No, the mountains between Delta and Scipio.
Not the Mineral Mountains.
No. It's the ones that are really old. They have yeah, so they're some of the older mountains. Those in the, is it Grouse Creek and some of the others up in the Box Elder County area.
I've looked at too many mountains.
I don't know if these are showing up, but you can see some of the crystals glinting off this potentially. There's a whole host of minerals. Let's see if I can get this to follow me right there. Doesn't want to pay attention to me very well here, this gizmo.
Here's some right here that might be easy to see. It's interesting because
there's a huge crystal right here though.
Really?
Uh-huh.
I've seen it mostly in that really black rock. Like that, yeah. That's where I've been finding them.
Yeah, I think more of it's in there. Can you see that? It's about the size of maybe a dime.
Yeah.
Right. It's kind of shadowed.
Yeah.
And you were going to show me one over here?
Yeah, back here. Like I said, like usually it's the really black rock, but I was looking at this one and there's some crystals that are like...
Well, that's a big chunk of crystal. I don't know if it's possible to see it.
Not very well. On the hill, walking over here, I found a few pieces of glinted and sound a little better. But yeah, you can see there's like a little chunk on the ground. There's just, I'm not seeing any really great pieces. It's not like I would make a necklace out of this or something.
No, I don't think there's, let's see what you found. See if we can get a little glint on it.
See some sun shining on that.
Yeah, it's pretty, isn't it?
Yeah, they're really shiny. It is pretty. There's several little pieces here and there. This rock has some in it. But those,
You can see kind of the linear nature of them in there.
Yeah. But most of them I see are real honey colored.
Seems like it, doesn't it?
Yeah. So definitely need to read up some more about them.
I have a hunch we'll do that soon.
I want to show you this hillside over here.
Right.
That was kind of interesting.
The sky is really showing up beautifully blue on the camera, but it's hazy. It's hard to see the mountains. Maybe we're just not appreciating how pretty it is, but we've been here on days where the sky is popping just a little bit more.
Yeah. Maybe the cold air is kind of coming in. So see how people have dug underneath that spot?
Uh-huh.
So I wonder if they find a lot within that stuff, or
Well, when I
the best place to find it, huh?
gosh, that looks like a snake hole. Are you ready to go? It's cold. Just kidding. Well, there's definitely some chunks in there. You can see some of them in there.
That shape right there?
Shape right
That's
there.
harder, that rock. I'm pointing, look at my
Oh,
shadow.
in the shadow. Yeah, it's really hard to see on the camera, unfortunately. It's just too dark under there to catch it, but there's some, I'd say some dime-sized chunks of either this limestone rock is what it looks like.
Yeah.
How about if I get out of the sun? There's chunks of that under there, and people have dug there, but I don't know that means it's better for digging or not, but that's interesting how that rope...
Are you okay?
Oh, yeah.
Hope you didn't get your knee struck.
Oh, there's a way to switch the directions on this, because I'm always going the wrong direction.
Yeah. Every once in a while I see a little shine and oh, here's a little piece here. So why is some of it kind of creamy colored and then some of it's really honey colored, or if it's just that it's been out in the sun longer?
I don't know.
Because the ones that are in the black rock that I found mostly are
Seem
really
a lot more yellow, don't they?
amber colored, yeah.
That tells you the difference between Stephanie and I. I know like 3 colors. And one of them is black, which tells you how much I know about colors.
Very proud.
One is blue, one is white, and then there's all the ranges between those.
I thought this hill had a few interesting rocks on the way that had a few sunstone features to it, but
Sometimes I look at a rock and I think, huh, how does a rock get that shape? It's very light. It feels more like pumice than it feels like a rock. Wonder if it is.
so like the lava rock stuff is usually pretty lightweight.
Seems like pumice wouldn't be white though. Aren't all lava rocks mostly dark? Certainly something to look at in the future. I wondered if getting a hammer or rock hammers out would help, because you can see in a lot of this some veins. I don't see a lot here, unless that's a little piece sticking out right here. Nope. Nope. Little lizard right there.
It's different than that up above, where people have been digging so much.
Yeah, there's some of this there, but boy, there's sure a lot of sparkle in this where there's some of the sunstone. There's a piece right in there, but it's hard to capture the sparkle with the equipment we have. Maybe it's hard to capture the sparkle period. I don't know. All right, well.
If you come here, you're probably not going to find a ton of material, but
Yeah.
it's fun being out here
It
looking.
is a fun place to come, and
You'll find some little pieces here and there.
some glass. Watch out for the glass.
Lots of them.
You have to watch out with the kids if you bring them here.
Here's a nice little chunk. I think we definitely find bigger stuff out at Topaz Mountain when we look for topaz, but it's probably
That's a nice
the
little
best piece I've found today. It's not as shiny as a few I found.
No, they don't seem very shiny. They seem to
Oh, look.
scratch and break really easily.
That one's pretty shiny.
That's not bad.
So I don't know.
They're not a very hard mineral. They're just it's a fun place to stop and look for things.
Yeah.
Well, should we call it good for today?
Sounds great.
If you like this video,
Like and subscribe.